Hello there, Only One Kenobi here, only one. And on this glum Sunday, I'm going to open this for you, ladies and gentlemen. It's really dark out there. Sorry about that. We're in the month of November, so it's been raining, but there's enough light. I like to film in natural light, you see, so we're going to get on with it. So here's the deal. I got hold of this. I've barely had it 24 hours, and I'm going to open it already, because that's why I bought it. This is the SDCC 2011 SDCC Revenge of the Jedi Death Star 2 set, the infamous or famous holy grail of the Vintage Collection. And I bought it because I want to get out the variants, and my plan has been for a while to fill the gaps on my carded wall, and 12 of them are in here. So most people buy this because they want to get hold of Salacious Crumb and the Mouse Droid. Me, I wanted actually the other figures that are in here, which is quite funny. Now I've got it. I've obviously admired it for the last 24 hours, and it looks amazing. It is amazing. And a massive piece as well. It's good to just see the Death Star, you know? Death Star 2 anyway, from everyone's favourite film, Return of the Jedi. Brilliant film, innit? And I'm going to do something that nobody's ever done that I've seen on YouTube, which is to open it. There's not many videos that feature this anyway, but I want to open it up as in get the figures out of there, right? I'm going to take very good care. Just been on the phone with Bosk's Bounty to talk about that. He gave me some advice on how to do it. He had to do it with his because his came in terrible condition. This is in really good condition, and amazingly, this used to belong to Daniel Logan, Boba Fett himself. Unbelievable. So I bought this yesterday. I went to the guy's house. He's not far from where I live, the guy, and he told me who it used to belong to, and I thought that just made me love it even more because it was a lot of money, and the fact that I've got his is awesome. I hope you don't mind me opening this, folks. There might be some people who think, no, don't open it because, you know, you're breaking seals and, you know, making it less mint than it is right now or whatever. But at the end of the day, well, that's my choice, isn't it, really? Sounds so selfish, but yeah, I want to show you. It's good to do the video because if any of you get one and you are going to open it, we can have a look at the sequence of how to do it because it is quite complicated by all accounts. So I'm going to go handheld at that point and we're going to have a closer look at it. And I just really want to see what the figures are like inside. Let's begin. So if I go handheld, we'll give you a good look at it. The condition's really good. It's surrounded by tape every other notch, which needs to be cut. So that's something I'm going to have to do. That's what I was on the phone to Tim about that. But it's in a decent condition. There were a few scuff marks. But, you know, this has lasted since 2011, so over a decade ago. But I don't know what the actual value of these were originally when you bought them at the SDCC. I presume it was just at the event you could get them, or maybe online. I don't know. Let me know. It has this band that goes all around it, so I'm going to lift that off now. There's a slight scuff on that as well, as you can see. That kind of verifies that it used to belong to Boba Fett. And also, here's the funny thing, right? When I was paying my man yesterday, we were on PayPal, obviously doing financial transactions, and lo and behold, he showed me, he said, yeah, that's Daniel Logan's. I saw Daniel Logan's address, which was on his PayPal, which kind of just like, well, he's not lying then, is he? So why would he lie? He's an honest man. So let's open it up. And let's give you a good look at it inside. And a lot of people cherish this piece and love it just like this. Myself, not so much. It looks great and everything, but there's two things wrong with it. It's kind of a monstrous piece to display like that. Some people do have it like on a wall or something like that. But for me, there's two things. Like, I want to see what the condition is of these cards in there, number one. And number two, they are unpunched cards inside there. So whoever decided to, it's a protective cover. Can you see it? This one's slightly more warped than the other one. This one's a lot more flush. But the cover has deliberately shown you the cards punched. So that's not what they'll actually like. There's the the Mouse Droid, and then there's Salacious. And literally yesterday, when I was at his house, that was the first time I'd ever seen a Salacious Crumb and a Mouse Droid with my own eyes. You know, it was kind of like a landmark moment, really. And then there's 12 other figures. 2 of them I already own, actually, ironically enough. And here's my first question. why are, sorry, all these other figures less expensive than him? I suppose I could answer it straight away and say that you can get Revenge of the Jedi variants of all these cards, but the thing about these in here is that they are offerless, which means that they don't have any paper inside the bubble. So they're unpunched, they're offerless, and they're Revenge. That's what stands them apart. I've got 4 variants of Slave Leia through in my carded room, and if you stay to the end, you'll see me putting all these in the carded room, by the way, in a star case, and we'll fill the gaps. But the Leia in here is different again. It's a Revenge, and it's offerless. You can't see her offerlessness, but you can actually from there. But so yeah, I remember 3 years ago I was on the phone to Chris from Banff School, and I said to him that I had all the layers, and he said, "Have you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've got Return, Revenge, US and Canadian." And he said, "Have you got the SDCC?" And I was like, "No." And so then it was kind of like, that was probably the first time I realized that, you know, to have this, you've got everything. Plus also, for many, many years, I've had a monkey on my back. Well, no pun intended. The fact that Salacious and the Mouse Droid are carded figures in... Oh, excuse me. Lost the... Yeah, there you go. Carded figures in the TVC. What is it? 66 and 67 are they or something like that? And for years, I've thought, don't need them. Wrong size. I don't like things that aren't standard TVC card size. You see, that's why I've got a big issue with the Cobb Vanth. But no, now I've got them. And here was my plan. To make this economically viable, my plan was to sell those first. Because that's the ironic thing. People who buy the SDCC set usually buy it just for them, those two. But actually for me, I don't want those two, I want the others. So it's quite funny, really. They will literally be the first things to go if and when I need to sell them. But now I've got this whole thing. Sorry if you're getting airsick, by the way, with me panning the camera around everywhere. I am going to keep them for a good while, I think, because, you know, just enjoy them. But as I say, they will go first. But there you are, folks. I've got to get it out of here. I want to see, firstly, what the cards are like. I want to get rid of that cover, but it's going to be a complicated process. Tim has given me a little spiel on how it goes. It's going to be cutting this tape, and then we'll take it from there. And I'm going to mount the camera and get on with it, folks, because I can't wait to get it open. Let's do it. Alrighty, folks. So to do this, obviously, I've got this Stanley knife there, so I'm going to go around carefully with that. Just going to pan it down and let you follow on what happens. So from this point on, it's no longer mint, folks. I've just cut the first tape. Terrifying. Tim was saying that, see that bit that sticks out there? He said start there, he said, and then do a couple, because these can tear. So I'm going to do that bit there as well. See what happens. Very carefully. I see, this is supposed to just push out. Yeah, there's no tape on the inside. I see what he means. Maybe you've got to do that. Apparently these can tear. This is a bit nightmarish, actually, folks. Very nightmarish. I don't understand how that works. I see, so that's all kind of coming loose now. Oh, hello. And more so. Wow, so one side is now free. And I see, then you can get underneath the thing there. So you've got to go all around, man. I'm a bit worried about that bit there. I don't want that to be... I feel like I've sussed out how to get that out, but the only thing that I don't understand how to unlock is that bit, which I thought would be the easiest. That bit looks like it just goes in there. I've got some nail scissors I just brought through with me. Like something stubby just to get underneath it. I thought that was just a hook that could come through, but it doesn't look like it wants to come out, that. It really doesn't. There's a little thing inside, maybe, that unlocks everything. Let me just show you. So everything is getting loose on the outside now. I'm going to push that to the outside as well. So that's there. We're just up to this bit now. This is the nightmare. It's like a knot. You need to know how to unknot and knot it. So that's all like that. Then there's this bit here which seems to be flush and there's no way of getting into that. It looks like it's permanently fixed. So here's the problem. So if you look inside, this is what you see. If I go like that, you see that bit? That must be unfoldable, that bit must... I'm not going to do it now, I'm just going to show you, see what I mean. That must come over and the other bit, they fold into each other, they lock. There must be a way of getting them apart, so I'm going to do that next, not on camera. I'm going to concentrate for that because I don't want to wreck this, man. I want to keep it intact and not rip it and stuff, so bear with me. Oh, I just did it. Did I get that on film? Yes, I did. I tell you what, man, that was a nightmare. That was a nightmare doing that. But I haven't broken anything, that's great. Can I do the same on the other side? That's the problem. So I don't know if you saw that, there was just a lot of jiggling. These obviously, they hook together and that goes over that, blah, 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 and that staples in like a seatbelt. See what I mean? So I don't want to put it back together again, but that would hook in like that. It's very tight, but I'm glad I've opened that successfully. Wow, God, it's like being a surgeon or something, man. It's stressful. Right, okay. Sorry about the crap on the floor. So now what one does, I think, is you can now lift up the cover and start to get the figures out. So we have a look inside. Should we go handheld? Right, so here we are now. We've done 1/4, so I assume you slide them out. They're in there. They've never been removed before, that's for damn sure. Unless somebody's put that back together so miraculously well. I can get those two out, slide them carefully, and then I can get this side open as best I can, loosen it up, and get the others out. It's very difficult to get them out, man. Wow, complicated packaging. All right, let's do it. Wow, I don't know if you can see what's happening now. Let me move the camera. So that bit that I thought was stuck to the inside, the bottom bit, which is kind of a flat side, so it can stand up, that does slide out, and I'm just doing it now. Ooh. See, that does come up, so I'll be able to, that's all attached to the top cover. I'll be able to pull that out carefully, bear with me. Either way, the whole thing is coming apart now, so let's get one of them out. Isn't it typical? It's the one I already have in my collection. Just don't want to ding the cards. Ooh. It's like delivering a baby or something, man. And then there it is. That is for number 1, TIE Fighter pilot. Revenge variant. Now I'm going to put that to safety, folks, because there's all sorts going on in here. I don't want to stand on it and crush it or something. Let's do another one. See what you're saying now, Tim? The way you explained how to get things out of here. It's now making perfect sense. Here's number 2. Unpunched Ophilus, Revenge of the Jedi. Han Endor. My hands are shaking, maybe it's all the stress. There's a slight nick there, but I don't mind things like that. It's not a horrible crease or anything, it's just like a factory ding. It's like a little tiny little press. Gives it a bit of character, why not? Highly reminiscent of the VOTC style. These cards are very nice. Okay, as we continue, I'm going to loosen this side here. To relieve a bit of the tension when we get around to the wicket and stuff, why not? Might even do that one. Because I can just feel that, well, no, I'll leave that one. Let's try and get layer out. Just sliding it out. Here she comes. This is an important one, folks. It's such good condition as well. Let me just hold this up for you. It's on a tripod. There she is, a big one. That's Leia, Revenge of the Jedi. The only other Revenge I've seen has got a blue sticker on it with something in the bubble. It sounds crazy. That's the thing about this. You don't have to buy this set, you know, but if you are a completionist and you really want every possible variant, you must. You must. There she is, folks. Okay, that's a good one. Now, one thing I've just done is I've moved this back onto the table because I was pushing it. As I was doing all what I was doing there, I was pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And then if I'm not careful, that will be put under stress. That hinge there, that's the cardboard hinge stuck on there. So if that comes off this table, which I'm running out of space, please excuse the crap underneath there. I need to tidy up a bit. They're all figures I've been using in videos that I haven't put back on the shelves, but still, yeah, that's going to snap off or something. So I've just moved it back into the center, and then we can continue. So the next thing I'm going for is the Mouse Droid. Should be easy to get that out. Mouse Droid, beg your pardon, Salacious. Easy. And wow, there he is. There was slightly some damage on this, amazingly, even though it's in the middle. I say damage, it's just got a tiny, it's got a crease there. Interesting. I'm going to compare that with the new one. This is the new one that came, and God, there's not much in it, man. So anyone who got this new Jabba the Hutt set with the Salacious and that, you'll be happy enough. God, to think that that costs so much money, or cost so much money. He's probably gone down in value now, this Salacious, because of this guy, the reissue. But there he is. That's what a lot of people are after this set for, Salacious and Mouse Droid. But that is a shame that it's got that vein there. That is a shame. That's not going to grade very well at all, that, I'm afraid, folks. Is it? And look at that one compared to that one, you see. See, it makes you wonder why that happened, or maybe that's common. I don't know. Let me know about the state of other Salaciouses. You know, like when the HasLab Razor Crest came out, a lot of the Grogus had the same type of damage on them. So maybe that's the same with Salacious. I don't know. I look forward to hearing your comments on that one. But the figures are... Let's have a look at the difference in the figures. Yeah, see, that one's the older model. I think that came also with the Shadows of the Dark Side. Shadows of the Dark Side. That Jabba the Hutt over there, that one. It's very like the Crumb that came with him, but that's a really good looking Crumb. I still haven't opened him, but I will do. Right, let's get him to safety. Definitely don't want to be damaging that. I can get them all out now. I see what you mean, Tim. Here is Boba Fett. I'm going to talk to you about them in a minute. Let me just get them all out first. Yeah, I probably didn't need to cut that other band that I had. Let's say they're all in great condition. These cards are in fantastic condition. Shame about this Salacious, really. Amazing that that was in the worst. Maybe because it's small, it can't hold its own. This is a figure I really need now. Wicket. Glad to get that. But that's it. Going back to the value of these, you see, why I asked earlier why Salacious and Mouse Droid were so expensive when technically this will be as plentiful or as rare as Salacious and Mouse Droid, given that there's only one SDCC set. There's only one Offerless Revenge card. Well, that's the thing. People will tend not to buy these because you can get a Revenge of the Jedi unpunched figure of Wicket elsewhere. For example, in my carded room, I've got a Canadian. So if you turn onto the back, you'll see it's a Canadian card, whereas this isn't. This is the US card back. And it's got Revenge, Offerless, nothing in the bubble. But, you know, the only way you can get a Mouse Droid or a Salacious Crumb is by buying this. There's no other alternative. So that's why they go for more money, I'd say, logically, right? So one side is done, folks. To be honest with you, I'm going to get this side done, but I'm not going to film it because that was a hassle. You've seen how it works. It's going to be the same this side. I shall come back, folks, when I have opened and got them all out. I just need a breather just to relax, because doing it on camera ain't half stressful, man. Over and out for now. Luke Skywalker. I have continued to film. Got the knack of it now, you see. There's Luke. A little bit warped, but that's nothing a good star case won't sort out. Straighten him out a bit. There's no major problems. Little thing there. There was a Revenge Offerless Luke Skywalker Endor capture. Great card back. Yeah, Tim, if you're watching, I've got it now, man. I think I opened maybe I didn't open that one there. See, Tim, can you see where I'm pointing at? There's a thing of Salacious there that I opened on that side that I realised now I didn't need to. I think you said just, I don't know how many, I thought you'd said, there's about a third I've done there. Is that a third? 1, 2, 3. But there's another one. See the slight warp on that one. Aha! Now then, ladies and gentlemen, the warps on these cards on this side. Now this is the side that's got that. Look at it, see? The other side didn't have that. Now these have got a slight thing on them, but it's not a major problem. A star case will sort it, I'm certain. That's, oh, did I show you that properly? I was waffling on. There's the R2 there, just give you another look. Lovely figure, nice to see. Ophilus there. Revenge, unpunched. Let's get the Mouse Droid out. So I've not got many good thoughts about this. So this is going to be now the rarest one. Now that's in a decent condition. So the Salacious, as you saw, wasn't in the greatest nick, but at least this is now the outstanding figure of the set. They haven't reissued that. I say that, and they probably will now, but still, that's all right. But what a crazy amount of money these guys go for. A tiny little car, but a tiny little toy. Insane amounts of money on the secondary market, probably more so in the lockdown and all that, but still. Let's get Vader out. And again, that's all right. Little thing there. Quite common, that, isn't it? It's like a factory thing, isn't it? But considering this has been shipped over the Atlantic at one point from Daniel Logan to my man, it's done all right, hasn't it? I've still got the shipping box, actually. It's downstairs, so it's Daniel Logan's shipping box, which is awesome, I guess. Let's get Kian out. Yeah, a character that's quite important to my collection, Kian Farlander. Shame they never did a Revenge Canadian with the Canadian multi-language. They never did that. I thought they did, but they didn't. But still, here is a variant I've never owned. Or I've seen it on eBay. Never felt I needed it, but I've got it now, obviously. But because you can get Revenges of him with the blue sticker and all of that lot and such like. But still, at least I've got this Stormtrooper. And that's a nice looking card. Not bad, huh? It's getting very dark in here. The weather is terrible outside. Oh, the weather outside is shiteful. Look at that. It's a little press there, but I quite like that. I don't know why I like those little presses. They look like a factory thing. And then final one is the Rebel Commando, folks. That's the last one. It's getting very dark out there. It's terrible. The weather's awful. It's really tipping it down outside. So that's just in time. I've done that all, folks. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to take a breather, maybe have a cup of tea or something now after all that stress. Put them in star cases. And I'll come back later and I'll show you them all in the carded room, folks. I'll show them on the wall, folks. On the wall. Beautiful wall. Nobody does a wall like Only One Kenobi. And nobody can have a complete wall without the SDCC. The SDCC. You need the SDCC. Thanks, folks. And here we are, folks. The carded room. And this is it. There they are. The gaps. So I'm going to fill these right now with what I've just opened. They're all here. There's a lot of junk in this room at the moment, but that's all this. Can't wait to do it. Let's start with who's top of the pile. I've got them just on this chair here. Number one. Slave Leia. Let's have a quick look at what we've got for Leia so far. There's the 4 variants I told you about before. Return US, Return Canadian. I think that's super rare, that. Revenge US and Revenge Canadian. And now we have Revenge Ophilus Canadian. There she is. Open sesame. So that is now very complete, isn't it? That's a row of 5 layers. Not much in it though, is it? Look at it. It's mad, isn't it? So you've got that Revenge Canadian Ophilus. That's just a Revenge with a single pill. Madness, isn't it? But that back is like that. Her back is like that. That's the only difference. And that's how sick it is, ladies and gentlemen, to be a completionist. That's how deep the rabbit hole goes. How sick one has to be to spend so much money. Next up, Kian Farlander, Return Canadian, Return US, US Revenge now. Obviously, technically I need a Canadian of him, but all in good time. That's where that goes now. Revengeopolis. Same for R2. There we go, I only have the one card for R2. That return there, that's a UK European variant with a black sticker. Someone's taken it off the back and you can see that X there. And there we have his new friend, Revengeopolis. Now we turn to Endor Capture. What have we got for him? We've got Return Unpunched. We've got a Revenge Punched there. I need to upgrade that soon. That'll be a US card, that. Just check. Yeah, it is. And then we've got the reissue from 2019, I think it was. Away with that. I've got a nice new star case for it. There is Revengeopolis. Usually I like having Return Revenge, but now we've got Revenge Return, but that doesn't matter. And there's my other ones here. There's that new beauty. Look at that. US Opolis Unpunched. Error card. What a nice row of Lukes that is now. Beautiful. Down below Luke though, got Wicket. As I said to you before, the reason why people don't usually bother with the SDCC is because if you want a Revenge Unpunched, you can get it. This is the Canadian. See the Canadian card back. And I've got a Revenge US, which is also unpunched, but this one isn't Opolis. It's got a sticker on it and something in the leaflet in the bubble, the paperwork. Now I've got a US back Revengeopolis, if that makes sense. It's like I'm talking in a bloody code, doesn't it? And here he is. In he goes. That's a healthy looking row of Wickets now. Look at that, going all the way over to the retro collection. Return, reissue, Return US, Fett, Return Opolis. Revenge Blue Fett offer, Revengeopolis SDCC, Revengeopolis Canadian, and whoa, there's quite a lot of Wickets. I love Wicket actually, and there's another variant I could get, the one with the black sticker on the front and back, you know, the European card. Next door to Leia now, we've got Rebel Commando. Again, same kind of pattern really, a bit like Leia this one now. I've got Return and Revenge US, then I've got Return and Revenge Canadian with the multi-language pill. It's very like what we've got for Leia. It's just generally, I thought there was only 4, but there's 5 with the SDCC. And there's number 5, Rebel Commando. And it's the black Rebel Commando as well, just so you know. Opolis as well, no paperwork, as I said. Nice. Now let's get rid of, oh, not to forget Han Solo up here. There we go. Like I said to you, I already had the, bought it from, like I said, I already had the Revenge Admiral Akbar and the Revenge TIE Fighter. I bought this only about a week ago. Where is he? There he is. That's definitely SDCC. But I've got those here as well. I might change them for the ones I've just taken out of the Daniel Logan set. Why not? Because I know that they're all from the same pack there. There he is. I'll switch that later, but I won't do it now. So I'll have a spare 65 now. Revenge. Which is quite mad to think that I bought it by accident. Not knowing what they were. I just thought it was a Revengeopolis. I had no idea. It was from SDCC. Must have been somebody who was selling theirs, obviously. They obviously had the SDCC for Mouse Droid, Salacious or whatever, and they were selling all the other parts. That's how you can get lucky. I certainly bought them by accident, you know. I never knew I had them. But now to a figure I definitely don't have, and that is the Stormtrooper Return of the Jedi, well, Revenge of the Jedi. There it is. I've just opened that now. It's from the SDCC. Opolis again. Revenge Unpunched. And what do I already have? I've got the Return Boba Fett sticker. I've got the Revenge. I presume that's not Canadian. Let's have a look and see. Oh, it is. It's Canadian. So it's Revenge Offerless, just like this one is. But that's a Canadian, a bit like the Wicket we were talking about just a moment ago. Trying to stay awake, folks. That's quite anal, doesn't it? And I can't I'm like walking through a trip hazard round here. It's like a obstacle course. I've got so many figures. I don't want to show you the floor. It's an absolute mess, but I've got loads of figures that used to be on those cylinders that are on the floor, so I'm having to step around them, so that's what the noise is. I'm going to put the, that's the VOTC, I'm going to put that right in the corner, because that's a bit of an oddball, that. You might notice that the Return of the Jedi badge is different. All the ones in the Vintage Collection stay faithful to the actual font that was used in the 80s. That's almost like a bit of creative liberty there. That font kind of matches the Revenge of the Sith font and the Phantom Menace one, but anyway, I digress. Here is my fourth variant, Revenge and Offerless, US back, Stormtrooper. That's nice. That feels a lot more complete now. Great. Next. That gap is just for another variant of Akbar I could get, which is Revenge with black sticker on the front and back, so the European one. I've got Return with black sticker, which is punched, sadly. All I need is to get a Revenge one. So I'm keeping my eye out for that. Let's go and sort out Fett and Vader, then we're done. So nearly there. So here is a whole row of Fetts. So we start off over there with New Hope, then we've got all these for Empire Strikes Back. This one here I actually bought from the guy who sold me the SDCC set, which is an unpunched offerless Boba Fett. It's a very nice piece, that. Very good condition. And now, let's add this one. There we go. It's in. So now we've got Return. This is Canadian, actually. So it's offerless, that. Return offerless Canadian. Then we've got Revenge US. So technically, is there a Return US I need to get with the third sticker? God, it's never ending, isn't it? Then we've got this. This is quite an important one. The SDCC set is just important. Now we've got Revenge US. Offerless though. Which goes nicely together with that. Then this is the VOTC there. So how about that? And the interesting one about this last thing here that I'm going to talk to you about is the fact that of these two Vaders I have that are VC08, all these are VC08, but these are the Return variants. I've got a Return and a Revenge, and I was always happy with that. I just only ever wanted Return and Revenge, and then I was done. But then when you start diving deep into the rabbit hole, you realise what you have and what you don't have, and what you really need. So actually, this Return that I have is Canadian. So technically, there is a Return Vader out there with that sticker on it. I know that because I've seen it. And I think there's a Revenge like that as well. Probably, I'd guess. Logic says there would be, like that Revenge there for Fett, you see? The sticker. But this Revenge here is the European one I was talking to you about when I mentioned about Akbar before. That's why I'm leaving that one bare there. Got so many Akbars. See, black sticker on the back, on the front. It's Revenge. It's not offerless. You see, I've got the leaflet in there. But speaking of Revenge offerless, this is the last one, ladies and gentlemen. This is the one now. This is the SDCC, so it's Revenge, unpunched, and offerless. And that will go nicely as the final figure for the SDCC set. All variants are now in place. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Quite an expensive thing to do, getting the set just to fill those gaps. But if you want to be a completionist, that's what you got to do. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching that. Thank you for your support. Do leave a like, leave a comment, share, and all of that bloody blah that's said on YouTube channels. But I do appreciate you watching. Let me know if you have the SDCC set. Let me know if you want to get it. Let me know if you've had it and you've sold it on. Interested to know your stories related to it. But thank you for watching one final time, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Only One Kenobi. Only one. Out.